Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for, this is for the middle of January 2025. You have this Freedom and Action card and this Peace and Serenity card, so I feel like you are free to take action. I'm taking that literally, this first card. It's popping into my head that way. It's like you are free to, make your move or do whatever. And here you go. You have the Fool right here, and so the Fool is definitely a card of taking a leap of faith or moving in a new direction. And so, I would definitely take some sort of leap of faith here, Libra, and it could be towards anything. I mean, what really wouldn't be a Libra reading without it? So there's the Seven of Pentacles as always, right? And you're definitely kind of weighing your options or, working towards something here. And you're looking at, and there you are, right there, Libra. You are probably looking for, greener pastures in a lot of ways. I think that the kind of like what this reading is trying to get you to do is to create your own greener pastures with this Knight of Pentacles. It's kind of like the reading is saying, it's almost like this reading right off the bat, before we even get started, is saying that you are the one that is going to create the greener pastures. It's like they don't even exist because you haven't created them yet, right? And so if you are in like seeking mode where you are looking for greener pastures, and this doesn't feel right, then I feel like the reading is saying it's because you're going to be the one to establish them, the pastures. If like, let's pretend that you're a horse, right? And you're trying to find some nice green grass. I feel like you're going to be the one that grows it. So there you go. You have the King of Pentacles. Just this is how we're doing a Celtic cross, and this is how you're entering into the reading as a King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a card of establishment. I really like the King of Pentacles right now, especially with the astrology we have and some other things that are going on, Libra, because I think it's a great time to just establish something great in your life. Now, the King of Pentacles does this with his skills. He has these grapes all over his cloak, and the grapes on his cloak kind of, grapes in the tarot kind of represent something that's difficult to grow. Grapes require specific conditions to grow well, and he is able to create those conditions. So it says that you have a skill or a talent, gift, skill, or ability where you can create really good conditions for yourself, and that seems to be the focus here in this reading. I feel that your readings this year, actually, I should say your readings last year in 2024, were really about kind of creating a solid environment for yourself or surrounding yourself with the energies of success. And that's what I would do with the King of Pentacles. You have the Nine of Wands as your crossing energy. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. The Nine of Wands, basically says don't give up. And I do feel this reading is saying that a little bit, where it's like saying, don't give up on your dream or don't give up on what you are trying to create in your life, especially with having the Seven of Pentacles in the area of what's on your mind or the area of your thoughts in a Celtic cross. And the Seven of Pentacles, he's looking at those Seven Pentacles, and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Was it worth it for me to put all this time, effort, and energy into what I've grown? Or is there something better? And he is thinking about starting to grow something better. You also have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, he has empty fields behind him, so he is literally going to grow something better or different or new. And it's based off of his knowledge and wisdom, things that he has learned. And so the Seven of Pentacles says you have learned a lot. He has learned a lot from growing from all these pentacles. The pentacles on the Seven of Pentacles represents the results that you've been getting all along, the results you've been getting in your life up until this point. So you've been getting certain results, and I'm not sure if they're good or bad results, doesn't matter. But I feel for a lot of you, you're kind of just like saying, I want something better. I want something different. I want something new. And then literally in the area of your foundation, we have the Fool. So the Fool in the area of the foundation is pretty good because, the Fool is kind of like your launch pad. He is about to launch his new journey. And maybe that's what this reading is getting at, is that you are about to take off here, Libra, like a rocket, right? Or you're preparing yourself to take off in a new direction. One thing that's popping into my head is he has this white rose here. And that white rose kind of represents pure intentions. He is starting his journey with very pure intentions, but I'm going to explain to you what that means. That means that, like, if he's starting a business, he's doing it because it really fulfills him and it provides him with something, of course, but he's doing it for other reasons than just surface level reasons. I always tell the cookie story. If you don't know the cookie story, there's a famous salesperson. His name was David Sandler, and he tells a story about, I'm going to give you the short version, which is basically when we're children, we ask our mother for a cookie before dinner. Our mom says, no, you have to eat first, of course. And then, eventually what we start doing is we say, Mom, I'm hungry before dinner, instead of saying, Mom, I want a cookie, right? We start learning to not ask for what we want. And so the whole point of the story is that as adults, we still do this. Even though you're an adult, you can have cookies whenever the hell you want. Is it a good idea? Probably not, but you still could if you wanted to. And so the whole point of this story is, like, yeah, he was telling that story about sales, and I listened to this years ago, but I kind of feel like people do this in life where they think like, oh, I'm going to go, have this career because it's going to, make me a millionaire. But what they don't realize is that they're just looking at the millionaire point, right? They're not thinking about, will the career actually fulfill all these things below that point, right? And why do you think it is that people get rich doing things that they really shouldn't get rich doing, right? Like, let's look at Twitch, for example. There are like 19-year-old kids that make millions of dollars a year playing video games, right? That wasn't possible like 20 years ago. But why do you think that is? It's because they're doing what they actually want to be doing. So I think people have it backwards. They think like, oh, I need to go become an evil lawyer, or I need to go become a whatever, instead of like actually doing things that fulfill those things underneath what you want down here. And I feel like that's what the Fool is saying. It's saying, what is it that you really want? And no, I'm not talking about money. What I am talking about is like, what should your life look like? What do you want to do every single day, and work backwards from there? And again, really go deep. Don't just ask that surface level question. And I feel like that's what the Fool is saying with pure intentions. Next, in the area of the past, this is the energy you're moving past. You have this confidence is your key to success. You also have this meditate and contemplate card. I feel like some of you have walked away from something. You obviously have the Five of Swords here. And, I think this is saying that you have the confidence to walk away from something that's no longer serving you. And the meditate and contemplate card is probably just saying this is something that you thought about for a very long period of time. You have the Five of Swords. Again, walking away from something. The thing about the Five of Swords is this guy here, he's kind of walking away the winner. So with the Five of Swords, we can walk away from something. It can hurt. It can still hurt. But at the same time, we are walking away the winner because we're walking away from something that wasn't right in the first place. And, I think that the Five of Swords is just saying that's what you are leaving in the past. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this card. It says a personal issue reaches resolution. You also have this card. It says it's time to release negativity. Yes. So this is good. You have the Ace of Cups here, which could be love, although I would say this reading is really all about you, Libra. It's not really talking about other people, I don't feel. That could change when we clarify, but, I still feel this is an all about you reading. I think it's a great time to release negativity, of course, but, again, with the personal issue reaching resolution, and then you have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is about kind of getting into the flow, and then, you also start with that peace and serenity card. If there was a sign attached to that card, it would be Libra. Libra is harmony, right? So, we're talking about like the highest vibration of Libra is basically peace and harmony. So, I feel a lot of you, the Ace of Cups, it kind of represents peace. We have the dove right here, but it represents peace in the sense that you are in the flow, right? The cup can easily reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. It's not having to stress itself out to find fulfillment. It can be fulfilled on its own. And so I feel a lot of you are really focusing on your own fulfillment. And again, you could be doing this through getting more clear on what you actually want. Not the, you're not hungry, you want the cookie here, Libra. And I think you need to focus more on the cookie, not on being hungry, right? And I just feel something about that. I had to tell you that story, right? And that's definitely what I would focus on with the Ace of Cups. Of course, it could be a love offer if you do want love. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this calm card and this ponder card. A lot of thinking energy going on here, especially, the Seven of Pentacles is really a thinking card. He is thinking about the results he has received in his life so far. So A lot of you could be thinking, the calm card, it does feel like a very calm reading to me. I mean, we have peace and serenity, we have the Ace of Cups here, and so things are definitely, kind of becoming more peaceful and more, just better in your life. I think that's a focus for you. You have the Knight of Wands showing up in the area of your next few months. Every single person I read for has been getting these cards of being very adventurous. We're in an adventurous time. We have Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius requires everyone to become more innovative. The only way we can innovate is to learn new things, to learn new ideas, to explore different cultures and different ideas and different ways of doing things. And if you do that, you will be more successful. Knight of Wands is very spontaneous. He doesn't really care how he accomplishes something. All he cares about is that he discovers how to accomplish something. He is a card of learning as you go. So a lot of you could be adventuring in life, and I don't know why this just isn't work. This camera isn't working for me today, Libra, but I think for a lot of you, this is just saying it's time to go on an adventure. It's time to move in a new direction. It's time to try new things. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is an energy of very slow movement. It's coming up in the area of your closest relationships, which doesn't have to be love. Knight of Pentacles can represent all your connections, and But I was getting a weird message at the beginning, like it wasn't saying anything about people in your life at the beginning of the reading. It was more saying like greener pastures. To me, you have the opportunity to really create greener pastures and really make things better and improve your life and all that other good stuff. But it's like you're going to be the one that creates those things. And maybe that's why it is coming up in the area of your closest relationships, because it's saying like it's time for you to be very independent, but maybe you're thinking that you need to lean on other people or something. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't either. Let me make that clear. Of course, if there are supportive people in your life who want to help you, absolutely, get the help. But, there is, sometimes I do feel there are certain things that we have to do on our own. And the Knight of Pentacles is kind of saying to me that you are kind of improving your life on your own. And again, I want to stress that two things can be true at once. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be getting help or, tapping into other people. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Emperor. The Emperor is like feeling in control. You always get the Emperor with me. The Aries is your opposite sign, so, sure, it kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before, Libra, that I believe that we should be working with the energy of our opposite sign. I believe that we come here as our sun, and, I believe more ancient astrology, which is ancient astrology. Our sun was who we are trying to become. So like you think you're a Libra, but really it's like you're here to learn the energy of Libra and which is part of it, right? The other part of it is I do feel usually we have to also learn our opposite sign. And so there could be something about that for you. You could be learning how to initiate things, take action on things, start things. You could be learning how to see things through to the end. We can also look at opposite sign challenges. Aries are really great at starting things, but they're not very good at finishing things. And, again, I don't think this is true. I think most generalizations, if I can get that word out, about sun signs are BS. For every generalization that someone tells me about Libra or Aries or Pisces or whatever, I can find a million examples of that not being true. Perfect example. Everybody says Pisces is bad with money. Pisces and Libra dominate the list of billionaires and millionaires in the world. They're all Pisces or Libra. So, again, it's like you can generalize these things, but, that you can also find a million examples of them not being true. So, again, seeing things through to the end could be a big thing for you there. You end as you, the Libra card. So justice, whenever you show up as yourself, really puts you in a position of power and strength here and allows you to get what you want. So showing up as yourself in the outcome position is pretty good. It's just saying that you're present, you're taking control, you're making things happen, and I really like it. With the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups. Again, more peace and harmony type of feeling here. You always get the Ten of Cups with me, which I find very interesting. The Ten of Cups is about choosing happiness, which is pretty much what I always say to you, Libra, that I think it would be an amazing time for you to focus on your own happiness. They are standing in the real world. They are still dealing with the real world problems and challenges, but they have these 10 cups above their heads. And so they're choosing happiness no matter what. And I feel that, you getting into a happy place is what all your readings have been saying for like over a year. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Star, which is great. Again, having a dream, especially, this showing up in the area of your thoughts is very good because the Star is like having a North Star. It is having that one big guiding light, that one thing that you really focus on, that you really set out to accomplish. And, again, showing up in your thoughts, it would say that you are very focused on accomplishing like one big thing. And the Star is just a good card. It's like a card of getting wish fulfillment or getting something you want or getting something you desire. With the Fool card, you have the Page of Wands, another really good card for a fresh start. The thing about the Fool is that he just starts something because he feels enthusiastic about it. He feels excited about it. And that's it. He doesn't, have any proof that the journey he's going to go on is going to lead to the outcome he wants, but it feels right. And so I feel for a lot of you, trusting the flow here, we go up to the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups says, things that are going to work aren't going to be that much of a struggle. Now, there will always be a struggle in life, but for the most part, if you try to overcome the challenges, are you? And if the answer is yes, then keep going. It's like some things we have to try multiple times, but at a certain point, we do have to realize that something just isn't going to work, right? But for the most part, with the Ace of Cups, things should be progressing and moving forward, and you should be seeing progress. So, and also, the other thing is Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a card of progress. It says, and if we add the Seven of Pentacles into there, it's asking you the question, are you seeing progress towards your goals? Are you getting closer to what you want? With the Five of Swords, you have the Emperor. Emperor twice in your reading like this is saying that you maybe have left behind a controlling situation. Doesn't have to be love. For some of you, I feel this could be work or business or, anything else. And then we have the Emperor over here. It's almost like you have left control of a person or a situation, and now you're taking back your own control. That's kind of how I'm seeing the two Emperors showing up here. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups, which is hilarious. Definitely, this is basically the universe saying I meant what I said. So the universe is definitely trying to get you to get into this place of peace, fulfillment, happiness, joy, all those things. And, even freedom with that freedom card. So that's what I would just be focusing on flow. It's just that simple. Do you feel like you're in the flow or do you feel like you're struggling? And, allow that to be your guide. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, of course, is a card of resting, relaxing, recovering. Four of Swords is kind of a card of blessings. There's a person who is blessing a person right here in the stained glass window. And this guy here, he is praying for blessings. So a lot of you maybe have been praying for blessings, or you've been hoping and praying for to receive some sort of blessing in your life. And I feel that this could be a blessing that's coming in for you, which is great. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Magician. And Magician kind of says you can have whatever you want. Magician is a card of manifestation. And the Magician is also about using the right tool for the job. So definitely, if you are trying to plant seeds in your life or, find greener pastures, the Magician says that maybe you're using your logic, but, maybe you need to use your wands and use creativity. Or maybe you need to follow your emotions with the Cups. Or maybe you need to be more practical with the Pentacles. And I always say, I think it's a good idea with the Magician to kind of experiment with the tools that you're using for your job or, whatever you're trying to create and just see what tool works best. I always pull the card at the, if the Magician is pointing to a card, I always pull the card he's pointing to. This card says take time to breathe out. So obviously Four of Swords as well. Ace of Cups. These are not, these are not forceful energies. These are more, kind of passive energies in a way. And I feel that, being in that energy will be very beneficial for you. So that's what I would do here is I would be more kind of peaceful or, try to be more passive. Take your time, right? With the Emperor, you have the Lover, so it could be love. Again, there is a little bit of love here, so if you want love, absolutely, could be a new connection. As always with you, it could be another fire sign, it could be a fire sign or another air sign, is what I was going to say. So if you want love, definitely an opportunity to find a true Emperor. It's maybe you already walked away from an Emperor, but, it's I believe that we can have an Emperor or an Empress in life who is kind of the dark version, right? And so maybe that's what you left behind with the Emperor first, with the Five of Swords, and maybe the Emperor over here is the light version of what you're looking for. So I don't know why that's popping into my head. Maybe it's because this, if you are meeting a new person, I do feel that they could be very similar to a past person in some way, but also not. So, I would pay attention. With the Justice card, you have the Hangman. I feel like you're ready. It's like you're ready to take action. The Hangman, he's gained enlightenment. His head is glowing. And so he needs to kind of like get started. And he's ready to start as well. There's nothing more that he needs to wait for. You have this candle. It says you will be shown the way through your feelings, I would add, or through flow with that Ace of Cups. So that's exactly what I would be trusting at this moment. It's like you are being guided, but you're being guided through ease, through things that flow, things that actually work. You have this wedge. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Yes, I would be very careful of other people. For like last year and also this year, this card comes up like crazy. Again, I shuffled my decks, my Oracle cards, between each reading. And so I always shuffle these. I just don't do it on camera because it would take me 40 minutes to do it. But this card comes up a lot now. And so I would be careful of like exes. If you're meeting a new person and their ex messages you something, might not be true. I would be careful of those friends that try to keep you single as well. And, everybody has them, right? Those friends that are like, oh, don't date that person, or don't do this, don't do that. It's like you should be living your own life, not listening to someone who is just miserable and single. You have this Jug card. It says lighthearted, carefree time. Feels like a very peaceful, lighthearted type of reading. So I feel that is the energy you should be embracing. You have this April card, and you have this Wheel card. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. It's funny because a lot of people have been getting the April card. Now, one thing I will say about April is that, basically we're in the Mars retrograde shadow until April 30th. So the whole entire month of April, we're in the shadow. Mars goes direct on February 23rd. And so, the energy should start lightening up. But you might notice that, like, lower energy feeling until the end of April. And again, a lot of people have been getting that card. You have this happiness card. The whole entire reading talks about happiness. So I feel you will be very happy if you focus on happiness. But all in all, this looks very good, Libra. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.